Hello everyone. This video I'm just going to go over the elements of art exercises that you're going to be doing. So after we have done the elements of art notes, whether that is in person in class or watching the video or doing the Ed puzzle, and you've written down your notes on the note sheet or a blank piece of paper, whatever you needed to do, you're going to go in and do these exercises. Some of you might have the paper, some of you might need to print it out. If you're in studio art, you have it in your portfolio if you've picked that up. I might have given it to you in person. If you can print it out, if you don't have it, that would be great. Otherwise, just wait until you can get it from me, I guess. All right, so there are 2 pages that you're going to do. The first one that I'm going to show you, it doesn't matter what order you do them in, but it looks like this. So if we go to the first exercise up here for line, you're going to be looking at your notes when you're doing this. So for line, in this first section here, you're going to fill each box with a different type of line. So you need to think about what differences can there be in line. Direction, size, thickness, the shape of the line, so whether it's curvy or jagged, color, value, all of those things, the distance that they are from each other. So in each box, you're going to pick one type of line. So maybe in the first box, I say, okay, I'm going to do vertical, thick, jagged, red lines. So I'm going to draw one of those down the box, and then right next to it, draw another one, draw another one, draw another one. So you're just repeating that same type of line. So it's going to be the same line repeating throughout. Then in the next box, you're going to draw a different type of line. Okay, so maybe I'm going to do diagonal, thin, blue, wavy lines that are close together. So then I would go diagonal, draw my wavy blue lines over and over again, and so on. So then you would do the same thing for the rest of the boxes. So each box has one type of line that's repeating. When you finish that, you're going to come over to the box on the right, and you're going to, like it says, create a design using all 6 of your lines. So in the box on the left, you created 6 different types of lines. So on the right, you're going to take those types of lines and create a design. It will probably be just abstract, like a cool design using lines, having them repeat, maybe creating shapes and filling them with them, but you need to fill up the whole space in the box. All of these should take time. This is a kind of 2 full class exercise probably or more. You will have to use color on a lot of these. If you don't have color while you're working on this, we will have partial time to work on it in class for those of you who are going back and forth. So I will have colored pencils for you then. But please no markers, just pencil and colored pencil. So the bottom half of that page is space. We talked about 2 different types of space. These exercises, one for each. The first one is to draw a picture, so a representational thing that shows positive, negative space. So you're drawing actual things to demonstrate positive, negative space. That can be black and white, it can be color, whatever. So if you don't know what that is, refer back to your notes and think about it. The one on the right is draw a picture that shows depth using foreground, middle ground, and background. So this one is most likely going to be some type of landscape, cityscape, roomscape, but where you have things in the foreground, middle ground, and background. And with all of these, you're using the entire box. Consider each one a mini artwork. So on the next page, here we go. The top half of the page is value. This one should be all in pencil, all in black and white. The strip on the left is your value scale. So use your pencil and try to shade that as good as you can, getting the darkest dark on the bottom and the lightest light up at the top of that scale. Then over here, the forms. I will give you a little cheat sheet in the assignment on how to shade these. I don't expect you to know offhand how to shade these. I just want you to practice shading on 3-dimensional objects And, eventually we will get into drawing real things and getting the values accurate. So just look at the reference for that and shade them accordingly. On the bottom here, on the left, we have shape. You're going to fill this top space with geometric shapes. So make it interesting. Fill the space. They can be big, small, inside of each other, overlapping. Make it colorful, make it fun. Consider that little triangle of space your canvas. That's your artwork. I want you to use geometric shapes to make that space interesting. The bottom half is fill this space with different organic shapes. Same thing. Take your time, make them neat, make them interesting, overlap, fit them together, whatever. But I just want to see if you understand geometric versus organic. And then finally, the right is texture. Now, this one might be a little bit difficult and a little bit confusing. For this, you're going to fill each box with a different texture. If you notice at the bottom of the sheet, there's a little note that says texture needs detail and lots of different values. Essentially, when you are drawing texture, you are trying to make a small 3D surface. Texture is 3D. It has bumps. That's, how you can feel it. So for texture, you need to have lots of little details, and there needs to be value change. So there's parts that are going to be darker because they're in the dips in the texture, and parts that are lighter because they're on the raised parts of the texture. So I have a few examples. I'm going to show you one student example. I do not want to see any of this copied. This isn't the strongest for everything. The texture one, I'm going to show you another example of that, but just kind of show you what this looks like. The shapes should have been colored. Unfortunately, this was the only example I had at school at hand. Here's some great examples of drawn texture. If you notice, all of them are really detailed. They have variations in dark and light, like especially the pavement. There's shading, there's dark and light parts. Okay, and then the first page, okay, there's the different types of lines. She really shouldn't have had them go in all different directions, but combining them. And I think I have one more here. Okay, so different types of lines. Again, shouldn't have had combined lines there. These first two are great examples of what I'm looking for. Okay, but I don't want to see those copied. There are infinite ways that you can do it, so make it your own. Again, each box should be a mini artwork. We will work on it for like 2 class worth of time probably, and whatever materials you don't have, I will have available for you in person.